first thing we're going to talk about is this. Objections are unanswered questions. Okay, write that down. The patient is unsure, the client is unsure about the value. So you didn't do a good job conveying that. The patient or client thinks that you're too expensive, you're missing value. It's not their fault, you're missing the value. The patient or client just wants a quick adjustment. You didn't do a good job explaining the process and the transformation to them. So they're not seeing the transformation. They don't see any transformation. So here's an exercise that you don't have to do right now for time's sake, but I want you guys to do with your content. List your top 10 objections from your clients or patients. So the way you get that is you take a sales call, Phil, or let's shout some out so the other people can get inspired a little bit. Leela, give me an objection.
Afraid of radiation.
Okay, great. Afraid of radiation. Okay, now watch this. Radiation. So somebody shout out an idea for a reel or a social media post that they can do to target that. Go.
You know you get more radiation from keeping your cell phone in your pocket than series of X-rays.
Cell phone versus X-rays. Boom. Excellent. Another objection.
You get more radiation on a cross-country flight.
That's the answer to the objection. Good job. Good job. And he's right.
Money.
But objection.
Money.
What about money?
Too expensive.
Too expensive.
Okay, too expensive. Somebody give me an idea for social media content. Go.
I had a client that insisted on doing his own books until we reviewed and found out that he was double counting his income over the last year, paying tax on basically double income.
Okay, big mistake. Okay, watch this. Do it yourself led to a big mistake, led to increased tax. Sometimes it's more expensive to be cheap. But if you come out and you go, Sagi, you cheap ass, it's more, you're gonna just cost yourself twice as much in the long run. Sagi's like, well, F you too. And I'm not doing business with you. I'm going to my buddy down the street. And now Phil's like, well, damn it, I lost a client. Sagi's like, well, he's an a-hole. And now nobody wins. But Phil puts out a content and goes, you know, I had this client. Everybody write this down. Storytelling is selling. I had this client who insisted on doing his books on his own. No big deal. Only big deal was he made some big mistakes. And it was wild. When I saw what had happened, I almost didn't believe it. Neither did he. He double counted his income and paid tax on twice his income. It was a tough lesson, and it was even tougher to break it to him. But sometimes it's more expensive to be cheap. Mic drop. It's a great reel. Okay, question. That's fire. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said, can you give us...
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you guys, I have I got a lot of examples. We all know I can talk. Let's hear it from you guys. Okay, too expensive. Give me a real example.
Or didn't go through with it, waited, now had to have surgery.
Yeah.
And now it's
perfect.
still always.
Okay, got it. So waited on care led to surgery. Okay, what else? Right.
Mine was, well, I had a patient that went to the joint.
Yep.
It was cheaper.
Yep.
Walked out crooked. And he came in to me after 6 months of being sideways.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Just like that. But the power, Milad, sometimes I've noticed, I'll give you guys advice, and then you guys will make a real word for word on what I say. The power of a script is not in copying. With a script, yeah, in the office or for sales. But if it's, remember that selling is storytelling, and selling is the transfer of emotion. So if you do a script and you're like, aha, I got the magic words. I had a patient, you wouldn't believe it, that went to the joint, and then he came out to me and he was crooked, and it was no. It's gotta be authentic, right? So you're not gonna make up a story, that's his story, but that's an example. So you might say, you might channel your own story. And let me think for a second. In my 20 years, a patient who waited and had a problem, let's see. So I had a patient one time who came in, and I'm filming on my reel, and she wanted to receive care. And we did an exam, we took x-rays, and her neck, she was pretty straight. And then she ended up waiting and coming back 6 months later, and when she came back, not only was her neck curve not there, it was going forward. And now her arm was numb. And her pain got substantially worse, and instead of going on a 3-month program, she ended up taking almost a year to get her arm out of pain and out of numbness. So that's like a real life thing that happened with me. But you have to apply it to yourself. Make sense? You love? Amen?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the issue is because I haven't even been operating for a year, I don't have a lot of stories of objections that people came back.
So you gotta see more patients.
They just don't have
So you gotta do more.
enough stories.
So you gotta make stories happen. You gotta get creative. So that's the trick, right? Like I'm not asking you, I'm never asking you to like make stuff up.
I don't want to lie.
I agree. I was at this conference in Miami at a workshop, and I was talking to one of my buddies who's a chiropractor for 27 years. Right? And he was telling me this crazy story. Borrow the story. Seriously. But really though, but the authenticity sells more than any story. Okay, so you take your top 10 objections from your patients or your clients, you turn it into educational content. Then track performance and conversion. So I do this. When I lose a call and I'm not able to convert a client or a potential client because of just like I told you that guy earlier today, just ego, this and that, it frustrates me to no end because I wasn't able to help him. And I'm like, oh, that's like, I take the responsibility. At the same time, I also see the other side and I'm like, man, you know what? I wonder how much pain he's gonna have to experience before he's like, okay, I need to do this. And then I might go and make a reel or content about that. And oddly enough, those typically resonate when they have a lot of emotion, a lot. And I can see that by the saves, the shares, etc.
Stories about after our sales call, I'm like, yeah, that's us.
Yeah, I do sometimes. Sometimes I see you guys doing things and I make stories about it. It happens. Yeah, but that's real life. And it's not personal, it's a lesson, right? It's a lesson. It's just a lesson. So turning it into educational content, and then what you want to do is you almost build like an objection library. And you can repurpose, reuse content. Questions on that? That's pretty much it for objections, and then I'll get into a little bit of marketing next. Anything? No? Pretty simple, right? Okay, Jack.
Yes.
Come on up. Okay. So Jack.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jack. Jack. Okay. Can you teach people a little bit about the difference between top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and how to apply it? Love it.
Okay, so when you create content, whether it's short form, YouTube, whatever it is, there's 3 types. There's top of funnel, so TOF. And this is for example, if you go up to a guy or a girl to meet them for the first time, you're talking to them, you guys don't know about each other, and you guys are just figuring it out about each other. They're curious, see what each other likes, stuff like that. See if you guys can do anything else in the future together. And then you have middle of funnel, which is let's say after a few dates, a few times you guys go out, you guys know each other a little bit more, still going deeper, but you're not dating yet, you didn't ask her out yet, to date. You can start getting serious. So you're not new to each other, you're still getting closer. And then there's bottom of funnel. And this is where, you ask the big question, will you be my girlfriend? Will you marry me? And this is in your guys' case, selling them, sign up for care today, this and that. All of you should be focusing on top of funnel for 80% of your content. It's going to be basic things. You don't get into in-depth with chiropractic and the pain they're feeling. You hit more emotion, showing what you do. Top of funnel content is to get more views. For example, adjusting videos like cracks that'll go viral to get attention to your page. So top of funnel to get attention. And then middle of funnel would be, you can have an adjustment and then you're breaking down what you're doing with the patient and what's going on in their case. So it's going to be breaking things down a little bit.